Let me tell you a story. There was once a boy named Arav, growing up in a small town. He wasn't the smartest in school, not the fastest runner, and certainly not the most confident speaker. He often stayed quiet, watching others take the spotlight while he sat on the sidelines, wondering, am I really meant to do anything great? Years passed. One evening, he stumbled across a book, Believe in Yourself, by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Skeptical but curious, he read one line that changed everything. There is a power within you, greater than any obstacle, stronger than any fear. That night, he didn't sleep much. Not because he was restless, but because something awakened within him. He began experimenting. Small affirmations every morning. Visualizing success before walking into a room. Whispering to himself, I am capable. I have it in me. At first, nothing happened. But slowly, things began to shift. He felt more confident, took bolder steps, and started noticing new doors opening, doors he never imagined were meant for him. That boy? He's now a TEDx speaker, an entrepreneur, and a mentor, all because he chose to believe. You see, you have that same power. It's not reserved for the lucky few. It's in all of us. It's in you. Your subconscious is always listening. What are you feeding it? As Dr. Murphy says, the key to unlocking your greatness is belief. So let's begin this journey. Not just through a book, but into your own mind, where every chapter isn't just a lesson, but a step closer to the powerful you. Chapter 1, Believe in Yourself. Arav still remembers the first time he stood up to speak in front of a room full of strangers. His palms were sweaty, heart racing, mind filled with what-ifs. What if I forget my words? What if they laugh? What if I'm just not good enough? That's when a line from Dr. Murphy echoed in his mind. Faith in your own abilities is the cornerstone of success. So he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered, I believe in myself and in my divine right to succeed. It wasn't magic, the fear didn't vanish instantly, but that tiny flicker of belief. It was just enough to step forward. You see, doubt and fear? They're not part of who we are. They're just things we picked up, like habits we've worn too long. Arav had spent years thinking he wasn't built for success. Until he realized, belief isn't something you're born with. It's something you practice. Like Neha, a single mom in his neighborhood, who learned coding at 38 and landed a remote job to support her kids. Or Raj, who once failed 2 startups but now runs a thriving business, just because he refused to stop believing. Dr. Murphy was right, fear is learned. But so is faith. And when you unlearn fear and relearn belief, your entire world changes. Arav now starts each day with a simple affirmation. I believe in myself. I am destined to succeed. Not because he's perfect, but because he finally trusts the power within. And that, my friend, is where your story begins too. Chapter 2, You Can Build Self-Confidence. Arav stood in front of a mirror, adjusting his shirt collar before his first team presentation. His mind whispered doubts. What if I mess up? But this time, instead of shrinking back, he smiled and said aloud, I've prepared. I know this. I've got this. That was the moment Arav began to understand what real confidence feels like. It wasn't loud or showy. It wasn't pretending to have all the answers. It was quiet. Steady. A deep trust in his own abilities. You see, confidence is not arrogance, it's not about proving you're better than others. It's about knowing you're capable. And that, Dr. Joseph Murphy says, comes not from never failing, but from choosing to learn from failures instead of fearing them. Arav remembers his first attempt at hosting a webinar. The screen froze. His voice echoed. He fumbled through half of it. But instead of giving up, he laughed, took notes, and did it again. And again. And again. Each time, a little better. A little bolder. Like Komal, a college dropout who once struggled to speak in English. She practiced 5 minutes every day in front of a mirror. 1 year later, she's hosting her own podcast. Confidence grows, not overnight, but through small, repeated actions backed by belief. Today, before every new challenge, Arav tells himself, I am growing. I am learning. I am confident. Not because he's never failed, but because he now knows, failure is a stepping stone. And confidence is a muscle. So, what small action will you take today to build yours? Chapter 3, You Are Born to Win. There was a time when Arav constantly compared himself to others. His cousin became a doctor. His friend got a fancy job abroad. And there he was, struggling to find his path. He'd scroll through social media and feel like everyone else had it all figured out. Except him. One morning, while revisiting Believe in Yourself, he came across a line that felt like lightning. You are not destined to fail, success is your birthright. Arav paused. No one had ever told him that before. That he was born to win. That there was a divine spark inside him, waiting to shine. He looked at his life differently from that day on. He stopped chasing others' paths. And started carving his own. He realized he had a natural gift for explaining things simply, something his friends always praised him for. He began mentoring juniors, then launched a blog. And today, he's a life coach, guiding hundreds. We often forget that success isn't a one-size-fits-all journey. Neeraj Chopra didn't become a world champion by trying to be Virat Kohli. He leaned into his gift and soared. You too have something uniquely yours, a talent, a vision, a voice. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's timeline. Start tuning into what you bring to the world. Arav's favorite affirmation now. I am born to win. My path is my own. My light is divine. And you, yes you, carry that same spark. The world is waiting for it. Chapter 4, The Miracle of Belief. Arav once stood on the edge of a decision that scared him deeply, quitting his stable job to pursue coaching full-time. Everyone around him said, "Are you sure? What if it doesn't work?" And for a while, he wasn't sure. But then, he remembered what Dr. Joseph Murphy said. Belief is the bridge between your conscious desires and your subconscious reality. So Arav did something simple, but powerful. Every morning, he closed his eyes and imagined helping people, speaking on stage, receiving thank you notes. He believed it was already happening. In his subconscious, it quietly got to work behind the scenes, fueling his actions, sharpening his focus, guiding his steps. Within 6 months, his part-time blog turned into a full-time practice. You see, all great achievements start with strong belief. Think of Walt Disney, fired for lack of imagination. Or Kalpana Chawla, born in Karnal, India, and went on to reach the stars, literally. They didn't get there by accident. They believed it was possible long before it became visible. Dr. Murphy says, what you repeatedly think about, you bring about. Your thoughts are like seeds. And belief. That's the sunlight. Today, Arav doesn't wait to see it to believe it. He believes it first, then watches it unfold. So ask yourself, what are you thinking about daily? Is it fear? Or faith? Because the miracle of belief isn't in what you wish for. It's in how deeply you trust it's already yours. Chapter 5, How to Turn Failure into Success. Arav still remembers the day he hosted his first paid workshop. Only 3 people showed up. One left midway. He felt crushed. Embarrassed. Like maybe he wasn't cut out for this after all. But that night, as he sat alone sipping chai, he picked up Believe in Yourself again. And read a line that struck him like a quiet thunder. Failure is feedback, not defeat. He paused. And realized, maybe this wasn't the end. Maybe it was a lesson, not a loss. So he asked himself, what could I do better next time? How can I speak clearer? Serve deeper? Promote smarter? That shift, from self-pity to self-reflection, changed everything. Dr. Joseph Murphy teaches us to reframe failures as stepping stones to greatness. Just like a baby learning to walk, it's not failing every time it falls. It's learning. Take the story of J.K. Rowling, rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter found its way into the world. Or Colonel Sanders, who faced over 1,000 rejections before someone finally said yes to KFC. The difference? They didn't see failure as the end. They saw it as refining fire. Arav began visualizing packed workshops, smiling faces, and impact beyond numbers. And slowly, those visions became real. His subconscious, fueled by hope, started working toward success. So the next time failure knocks, don't slam the door. Welcome it. Learn from it. Grow with it. Because success isn't the absence of failure. It's the mastery of it. Chapter 6, Thought, the Builder of Destiny. Arav once read that your life is shaped by your strongest thoughts. At first, it sounded poetic. But then, life showed him it was true. There was a time when he used to think, I'm not qualified enough. What if I fail? I don't have what it takes. And guess what? Life echoed those very beliefs. Opportunities slipped away. Confidence wavered. Progress stalled. Then he read Dr. Joseph Murphy's words. Thoughts are real forces that shape your life. That hit him hard. Because for the first time, he realized his thoughts weren't just private whispers. They were blueprints for his reality. So, Arav began doing something simple but powerful. He guarded his thoughts like treasure. Every time a fear crept in, he met it with a new affirmation. From I can't do this, he shifted to I am prepared. I am growing. I am guided. Just like a gardener pulls out weeds to let flowers bloom. Arav began pulling out thoughts that didn't serve him. And slowly, his mind became fertile ground, not for fear, but for faith. Look at Virat Kohli. When form fails, he doesn't just fix technique. He sharpens his mindset. Or Sudhamurti, who ignored doubts and chose to think. Why not me? Arav now treats his thoughts like seeds. Because he knows what he plants today, he'll live tomorrow. So pause and ask yourself, are your thoughts building fear? Or shaping destiny? Because the life you dream of? It all begins in your mind. Chapter 7, How to Become a Mental and Spiritual Magnet. There was a time when Arav felt stuck, no matter how hard he tried. The more he pushed, the more life pushed back. One night, sitting with his journal and a cup of chai, he came across Dr. Murphy's powerful truth. Like attracts like, this applies to thoughts, people, and circumstances. Arav paused. Could it be that his energy was attracting more of the same? The stress, the struggle, the self-doubt? That week, he decided to run an experiment. Instead of waking up and checking emails or worrying about work, he started each day with 2 minutes of gratitude and visualization. He pictured a room full of happy learners. He felt the joy of a successful day before it began. He whispered, "Today, I attract peace, progress, and purpose." And slowly, things shifted. Unexpected collaborations. Happy clients. Ideas flowing with ease. He had become what Dr. Murphy calls a mental and spiritual magnet. A person who attracts what they think, feel, and believe. It's like how a cheerful person lights up a room. Or how negative energy can make even a sunny day feel cloudy. Look at Saina Nehwal, not just trained physically, but mentally focused, emotionally aligned. Gratitude, mindset, and vision, it all plays a role. Arav's new mantra? I am aligned. I am grateful. I attract all that is good. So if your world feels off track, don't look outward. Tune inward. Because when your mind aligns with your heart, the universe responds. Chapter 8, How to Realize Your Desires. Arav once found himself in a fog, busy, distracted, trying everything, yet feeling like nothing was moving. That's when he asked himself a simple question. What do I really want? Not what he should want. Not what others expect from him. But what his heart truly desired. So he sat quietly, closed his eyes, and pictured it. Standing on stage, speaking to people. Making a difference. Living freely. He didn't just see it, he felt it. The excitement. The pride. The peace. Dr. Joseph Murphy teaches that the first step to realizing any desire is to define it clearly and emotionally. The mind responds to clarity plus emotion, not vague wishes. From that day forward, Arav wrote down his vision every morning. I empower others through my voice. I am confident. I am abundant. He spoke it. Felt it. Believed it. Because the subconscious mind doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to certainty. To repetition. To emotion. Take APJ Abdul Kalam. He dreamed of touching the sky as a boy selling newspapers. And he did. Because he saw it. Long before anyone else did. Arav began living as if it was already done. He dressed with purpose. Spoke with conviction. Showed up like the man he was becoming. And little by little, reality caught up to his belief. So what about you? Don't wait for the world to believe in your dream. Feel it. See it. Act like it's already yours. Because that is how desires become real. Chapter 9, Be a winner, not a defeated person. Arav once had a rough week. 2 clients backed out. His video tanked. And to top it off, his laptop crashed before a webinar. He felt defeated. He muttered, "Why does this always happen to me?" And in that moment, something inside him paused. That voice again, Dr. Joseph Murphy's words, echoing back. Winners think, feel, and act like winners. It hit him. He wasn't just reacting to the situation. He was inviting more of it with his thoughts. That day, Arav made a bold decision. No more victim talk. No more playing small. From now on, he would expect the best, even in the worst. He began catching his inner dialogue. When he'd think, what if I fail? He'd flip it to, what if this is my breakthrough? Because that's what winners do. They don't deny challenges, they rise through them. Look at Ratan Tata. After the Nano project faced criticism, he didn't dwell in defeat. He moved forward, stronger. Winners trust their mission more than their momentary setback. Arav started walking taller, speaking with certainty, and showing up like someone who knew success was on the way. He trained his mind daily with one powerful mantra. I expect the best. I am a winner. I attract success. And slowly, the world responded, not because it changed, but because he did. So here's your reminder. You were never meant to live in defeat. You were born to win. The moment you start thinking like a winner, the game changes. Conclusion: your mind is your greatest asset. Arav stood on the same stage where his journey once began. Only now, the seats were full. He had a mic in his hand, confidence in his voice, and a spark in his eyes that came from deep within. Looking back, it wasn't luck. It wasn't a magic trick. It was belief. One quiet, stubborn, unshakable belief in himself. Dr. Joseph Murphy's final message is this. Your mind is your greatest asset. Not your degrees. Not your resume. Not your followers. Your mind. Because your subconscious is always listening to your thoughts, your words, your self-talk. And it doesn't judge. It just obeys. Feed it fear, and it builds walls. Feed it belief, and it builds bridges. Arav chose belief. He chose to talk to himself with kindness. He chose to expect miracles, not misery. Think of Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty, told she'd never succeed. Today, she's one of the most powerful voices in the world. Why? Because she believed in that voice, long before the world did. So here you are, at the end of this journey. And maybe, at the beginning of your own. The truth is simple. Your future isn't shaped by what happens to you, but by what you believe about yourself. So say it with Arav, one last time. I believe in myself. My mind is powerful. And I am destined for greatness.